Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today is Saturday and I have a special treat for everybody. So what I'm doing today is I am going to be harvesting my beets, and I'm going to be making greens with the tops. So the whole beet plant is edible, and I'm not really producing a lot of like beet bulbs, but I want to harvest the tops because I like southern greens. You know, growing up in Indiana, it really became a love affair when I joined the military and I was stationed down in South Carolina. And oh man, I just fell in love with southern greens. I love the taste, the texture. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So I'm out in the garden already, and I need to pull these up and we need to harvest the tops. So that's what we're going to be doing. I'm going to set you guys up so you can watch me and see what I'm doing here out in the garden. Okay guys, so this is my beet bed, and what I really need to do is get these out of the ground so that we can harvest these tops. And you can also harvest the stalks. So that's what we're going to be doing. I'm going to pull up my hoops, get those out of the way, and then we're just going to start pulling them up. So I actually planted these beets 2 years ago, and what happened was I planted them way too close, and I'll show you guys exactly what they're doing. So this is really all about their doing, because I planted them way too close, and the tops and the stalks are awesome. So we're gonna can these up. I mean, what better way to utilize them? Even though it was an experiment when I started, because I'd never grown beets before, and that's what you can do with them. So what I'm doing is I'm really just kind of picking off the bad stems and leaves and just kind of going over them real quick as I'm pulling them out. See, they just didn't really produce. There's just not a lot there because I planted them way too close. This was my first time. See, I mean, we have some. You can kind of see it's a little bit of a beet, but not really enough to really can, I don't think. But I will cut those and see maybe if we could get like a small amount of beet out of it. Oh, so here's one. It actually started growing. So that's good. That's a good sign. We can actually harvest those. I might get a little jar, and that's okay. If I just get a little harvest out of it, I'll be okay with that. Oh, look at that. That one's not too bad. I mean, they're not round by any means, but we can still use them, right? Okay. So that's okay. All right, so I'm gonna finish pulling these up and then we'll come back. Oh my gosh, guys. So you can see I've already harvested this little square. I had to get the wheelbarrow out because I have so many. Holy crap. I didn't realize that I had planted them that thick, but they're pretty thick. I mean, wow. So it's going to take me a while to harvest this whole bed. I didn't realize there's that many in there. Holy crap. I was going to say crap, but... Alright, so... Wow. So I did get a couple of beets that do have bulbs on them. And you can tell it was the places that I had thinned out previously, earlier this year. And that's okay. I can cut those and can them up. I might only get maybe a half pint or a pint jar of actual edible tidbits, I should say. And that's okay, because this was really just an experiment, because I had never grown beets before. So it's kind of one of those things. Now I know beets need a lot of space, guys, in order to bulb out. They don't like being crowded at all. Yeah, so all these tops are gonna make delicious greens for us, and I'm excited because I love collard greens. I love any kind of, I just love southern food, southern soul food, man. It's got that feel good vibe to it. I mean, it makes you happy when you eat it. So that's what I like to cook and make and can. Because look at these. I mean, they just went crazy, guys. Wow. Okay. Shoo. So this is going to be a lot of greens. But what's funny is that after you cook it down, it really doesn't make a whole lot. Because once it cooks down, man, it completely shrinks. So this might only be 7 or 8 half pints, which I'm okay with. So let me continue pulling and we'll come back. Okay guys, so we have all of the beets all pulled out, and I have to say it is a kind of a bittersweet kind of thing, because as you guys remember, last year I planted those and we overwintered them, which was successful in my my plastic like mini greenhouse is what I made, and we covered it with the hoops and the plastic. And wow, to see them all out. Let me show you the bed. So here's the bed, and I haven't seen it for you know, a whole year and a half already. So yeah, that's a lot. That was a lot in there. So in the beginning, when I planted these, it was an experiment because I'd never planted beets before. I know I love them. I love pickled beets, and they're tasty. My Aunt Kathy makes pickled beets, and I think she's the only one in the family that does. So I was trying to kind of take that tradition on, but I'd never done it before. So what happened was I planted them way too close. Basically what I did was I broadcasted it, used a rake, kind of shuffled them into the dirt, and it's too much. So beets have to be spaced. I think it's 2 to 4 inches, or 4 to 6 inches to really get a really good beet. So now you know. If you have raised bed garden like I do, and I only have so much space to grow so much food, so taking up this whole bed for beets was probably not ideal, because I could have used this space for more tomatoes or something like that, because I make lots of salsa and lots of tomato sauce and stuff like that. So but we have it done. So I had to get the wheelbarrow, guys, because I have so many. But what is funny is that they're gonna cook down a lot. So let me turn this around so you guys can see. Okay guys, so here is my wheelbarrow full of all of my beet greens and I have it packed, guys. But the sad thing is that it is not going to, some of these leaves are not going to be able to harvest, and we cut the bottoms off. Now we can use all the stalks that are in really good shape. A lot of the leaves are in really good shape too, and I saw a couple of slugs in there, so it is definitely time to harvest. So let's get these up to the house, and I'll probably have to do this in batches because I'm not going to have enough like sink space or counter space to really clean these up. So let's get going.